Building an iOS app in 2026 requires hitting a very specific baseline. Your application has to be fast, it has to scale effortlessly under pressure, and it needs day-one security baked right into its architecture. We are far past the point of simply assembling a list of software features and hoping they hold together. Users now expect a highly polished, entirely seamless experience from the very first tap. You might assume the biggest obstacle to achieving that polish is writing flawless code. But the actual bottleneck that derails most deployments before they even launch is a failure to manage the timeline and plan the underlying structure. When developers begin working without crystal-clear project requirements, revision cycles begin to stack up. That initial confusion is the primary reason budgets blow out and schedules stretch by months. Surviving this landscape requires a precise strategic roadmap. That is exactly where a team like GrowRankers steps in, acting as the architect required to translate a rough idea into a predictable, scalable reality. Every development budget ultimately comes down to a single metric: time. And the time required to build an app is dictated directly by its technical complexity. This chart tracks the relationship between technical scope and development time. For a simple application with a limited set of features, you are looking at a baseline build time of 2 to 3 months. If you expand that scope to include a medium range of features, that development window pushes out to roughly 4 to 6 months. Then you have advanced applications. If you integrate AI, set up real-time data processing, or build custom enterprise backend architectures, that schedule stretches to 8 to 12 months, or even longer. The longer a project stays in active development, the more opportunities there are for scope creep. Without precise management, these extended timelines naturally breed hidden costs and technical bottlenecks. Pushing complex features without a strict framework is a massive risk. Mitigating that risk requires ruthless, upfront strategic planning before a single line of code is written. To control these variables, we have to look past the abstract timelines and focus entirely on architectural strategy. GrowRankers structures this process systematically. Phase 1 is discovery and strategy. This is where they work with the client to lock in the target audience, map out the exact features, and define the final product vision upfront. From there, the team maps out interactive prototypes and wireframes. Establishing a clean Apple standard user interface early allows everyone to spot visual problems and eliminate expensive revision loops without touching any code. With the blueprint set, the active agile development phase begins. The team builds the front-end, back-end, and API integrations in iterative cycles. This allows the client to review progress continuously and adjust priorities on the fly. Next comes rigorous quality assurance. Testing the application across multiple Apple devices and different versions of iOS ensures that when it finally hits the App Store, the risk of a crash or a rejection is neutralized. By systematically removing uncertainty at each of these steps, what is normally a highly volatile process becomes a controlled and predictable trajectory. There is a natural tension here, especially for startups. You want your app to have every possible feature on day one, but the market rewards speed. Instead of enduring a grueling 12-month build, GrowRankers offers a structural alternative, deploying a minimum viable product, or MVP. This means isolating only the absolute core functions your app needs to operate. By stripping away the secondary features, the development window shrinks down to a highly focused sprint of just 6 to 10 weeks. Hitting the market this quickly gives you an immediate advantage. You start gathering real-world feedback from actual users right away, and that specific data dictates exactly what you should build in your future development cycles. The MVP model secures real market validation early, while actively minimizing initial investment pressure by focusing resources on core functionality. Getting the app approved and launched is really just day zero. The true test of a product's viability happens in the post-launch reality of the App Store ecosystem. After release, GrowRankers implements a post-launch strategy focused on App Store optimization and keyword tactics. By feeding search metrics and user data back into the system, the application scales securely and captures market share. The GrowRankers model focuses on architecting a comprehensive digital business, treating code as just one component of a much larger, long-term growth strategy. By combining clear strategic planning, rapid MVP deployment, and continuous optimization, businesses can bypass the traps that sink most iOS projects. With the exact right roadmap from GrowRankers, you are securing a permanent, scalable foundation for long-term App Store success.